Monday morning, beautiful sunny day. Weather's a little weird along the coast of Australia, the east coast and southeast coast. Apparently there was cyclonic winds down around Melbourne and Victoria, rain and damage and that sort of stuff, and the same low pressure system that was bringing that to them has brought really strong winds here. Apparently rain expected on the coast, but inland, because it's a low pressure system, it drags a lot of dry air across, and we're meant to be getting fairly warm temperatures here, and because of the wind, it's a total fire ban. Second day of official spring. And that's what I was saying to some people at work the other day with how warm it was towards the end of last week. And I was saying, like, it's not even spring yet, it's still winter, and we've got these sort of warm days and temperatures. What's summer going to be like? But then this week there's meant to be rain and a drop in temperatures as well. So it fluctuates. Today is one of my lightest days. I use it largely as an administration day, and administration at this very point in time will be checking Year 12 reports because they're due in the next day or so. But I'm also doing a lot more fiddling around with the timetable, the decision with the boss on Friday. The decision with the boss on Thursday was that we need to add 2 more classes to stage 5 to provide 11 per line. Edval had worked out 10 per line, looked pretty good, but there wasn't a lot of space really for movement or new enrolments. So I need to take the next 2 down, rerun those. Stage 6, there was 1 line that we just said, like, there was only 4 subjects, and this is what happened last year. All the kids who'd picked electives fit there, but there was a number that hadn't. And again, moving, like students wanting to change electives, new enrolments. We said that's unacceptable. Looking down the list of the last ones that got cold, he said, try each of them and see what the difference makes between the 2 and go for the best one. Like, don't do both. Do one, try it, do the other, try it. And the better of the 2 is the one that makes it. So that is one thing that I'll be having time to work on today, so that I can hopefully inform leadership this afternoon about where we're at. It was Father's Day yesterday. Had a chat to Dad. I rang in the morning, caught him doing chores, and he had the truck loaded up to take rubbish to the tip because they don't have a garbage service there. He rang me back that evening. We had a bit of a chat, so that was a good catch up. And doing well. A little later into work today, Sam had a really big grand mal seizure yesterday. I was still at work, and my wife called me and said she was at the vet with him. He's never had one before. They sort of took his vitals and looked him over yesterday, but they wanted to do an ultrasound and blood work. Ultrasound on his liver, because his last ultrasound on his liver was back in January, and they just wanted to check on that because apparently there's some things that could connect to it. That's sort of the starting point. when he was at the vet, he seemed okay, but the vet did note that one of his pupils was more dilated than the other and wouldn't go back, which he said could be something pushing on the back of his eye. But before jumping into MRIs, they start with this scan of the liver because his liver levels were off before. So that was meant to happen this morning, I took the day off work because I didn't know how long it was going to be. The appointment was meant to start about 20 minutes ago. The vet rang in sick. They wanted to just reschedule us with a different vet, but this other vet wasn't as experienced at reading the ultrasounds. They could perform them, but in terms of reading them and knowing what they're looking at. And so we said, well, we'd prefer to see our vet who does have a little bit more experience and has done a bit more training. And the next time we can get in to see them is Friday, because they don't work on Thursdays. I got myself dressed for work and I'm heading in. I will get there just before recess. My first class is year 11 after recess. Because they've been trying to get end awards cleared, I thought I'll get back in there for that. And I've got playground supervision at lunch and year 10 after lunch. Now Friday, I have year 10 again, so that's the other reason I said, well, I'm going in today. And I have year 12. But I've got year 12 tomorrow, so I'll be able to go to sort of do some stuff with them tomorrow, get them set up for Friday. Sam seemed okay today and last night. He also has cataracts developing, especially in right eye, I think, which does look cloudier than his left eye. But he's never had a seizure, and he's 15, 16. It's a concern when they've had a seizure for the first time as an old dog, because you don't know what could be causing it, because it generally means there could be something bad. Panic set in with year 11. They're working. Several completed their projects. The little nail box, that's my sample. That's one student's. Another one there. Another one down the back. A few in the storage cupboard. So they got them completed. They're practical. They're working fairly safe. The biggest thing is them always putting the boots on. I've got to remind them about that. So at this stage, I can sign off work being done. They've still got to do some theory uploaded. Whether they're competent completely is another thing. And all these ones that have N awards have until Friday, apparently, to get it all done. I really want them to get through. Nobody wants to fail a kid. But the laziness at the start of the year has really set us back. So, and today was the last lesson I had with them this week too. So it's a good thing I came to school. 12 minutes left until I have to go out on playground duty, because the kids just stayed here and were trying to get all their stuff done and uploaded. One of them did. He got 3 things uploaded, got everything cleared out. Friday morning. Yesterday's half day. Went in the morning, did some work, had year 12, and year 12 started. They asked if they could sort of de-nail and clean up the timber that was outside and clean up the bricks. It's all part of what they need to do. And I said, sure, because I had started cleaning up the workshop because no one had shown up yet. And then a couple of the boys showed up, and that was the thing, there was only 2 of them as well. But they started doing that. I continued cleaning up inside, basically all the mess from year 11, packing together leftover bits of timber, throwing up scraps, sweeping and vacuuming, just basically tidying up the workshop because it was starting to look just a little bit in disarray because of the manicness of the practical lessons that they've had. Anyway, left work, went home, and we all went down to the eye specialist, which is set up in the RSPCA at Yagoona. Now, Yagoona's sort of inner West Sydney. Took Batman down, and they said that he had hardly any sight in both of his eyes. He's only seeing shadows, or he'd only be seeing shadows because they can't say what he's seeing. But based on the amount of blocking and cloudiness in his eye, they said he also had inflammation around the edges of his lenses at the moment. He's been given some steroid drops for that. If the inflammation got much worse, they could rupture his eyeball around his lens. Doctor said basically, if it wasn't so late in the day, he would book Batman in for the surgery. It's that sort of a kind of urgency on it. So Batman is going in for surgery next Tuesday, removing his cataracts, or removing the lenses from his eyes and replacing them with an artificial lens, and that will give him back his sight. His long distance and his right up close distance would be like 85%, but the mid distance and for him to get around comfortably and all that sort of stuff would be good. So that's happening. Not cheap, but he's our little boy. You want to look after your children, don't you? On a positive note, I don't have to send him to college or university. What has happened here? This is far too early in the day, like early in the trip for the traffic to be crying. And while I was at the vet yesterday, we took Sam with us so he wasn't alone at home. I waited in the waiting room with Sam, and my wife went in with the doctor and Batman. So I was checking my emails from work because I knew there was going to be a lot that I would have missed. And I got a message asking if I could sit in for one of the DPs today. So I said yes. Yes, please. I'm going to be DP for today. I guess in between DPing stuff, I can work on the timetable, because the solution we came up with for lines, after trying a few things, the boss liked the lines, so I need to get the program to set class lists which will lock in the lines, which is good because it means I can pass those lines through to the college for the rest of the timetablers, because they needed that by the end of term. See the traffic, just check. These people on the right, they're shooting off to try and go around the accident, and if too many people do that, then they kind of get stuck down the back road. Just having a look on the map where it's showing the hold up, and I can actually see the flashing lights down ahead. If I can see the flashing lights, the accident or incident or whatever it is only just down there, which means I'm going to be past it in a very short amount of time. So going down the back is hardly worth it. Of course, all of this traffic that's been banked up on the freeway will then cause a steady stream of traffic. Banked up on the highway will cause a steady stream of traffic on the highway, making it difficult for anybody who goes down the back to get out and merge. It looks like it's over in the side lane, so everybody's merging into here. Two things. That looked like a breakdown just back there. Said everybody who just went down the side road would be trying to come in here on the right. Or further down if they hadn't seen the traffic still going slow. Anyway, it's Friday, beautiful day, stuck in an office. I'm hoping this is picking that up. See that regular bat noise? No idea what that is. Sounds like it's coming from that way, which is bush. Sunday arvo. Spent this morning with I guess the deputy captain of our CFU unit, community fire unit, and we were doing an audit of our firefighting trailer. Just checking that we have all the equipment we're supposed to have there, that nothing's sort of gone missing, nothing's and checking that everything is still operational. Checking out the standpipes, testing all of the hoses for leaks, testing the firefighting nozzles that go with those, and all of that's okay until you have to roll the hoses back up. We also washed the trailer. He got his leaf blower and blew all the rubbish out from inside it, and then we washed the trailer down, so it looks like it's actually being used. Getting the cobwebs off it and all of that sort of stuff. And yeah, rolling up the hoses was the long part, because we've got 13 30-metre hoses. Everything works, everything's good. The hoses are all nice and neat, because you find that your trailer ends up being used for other training of members for other units, because the induction training comes about randomly. I know it took me a while to get into my induction training because they kept getting cancelled because of bad weather or that sort of stuff, and they were in a lot of different places. And then I just got lucky and there was one being done in our street at our trailer, but before it became the trailer I'm part of. So, but I know that there was a training there for other people about a month back, I think. And so the hoses might not be rolled up quite as well and that sort of thing. So, but it's all good. I also took the walkie-talkies and I put them on charge in our laundry. I'll put them back in the trailer when we get back from here, so I don't forget. Then I've got to cook up some more food for the boys before dinner time. And I got a lot of ironing to do on my shirts. All my work shirts. So apparently after Sam's vet visit on Friday, his liver seems okay. Apparently one of his pupils is still a bit dilated compared to the other, and that can indicate pressure behind the eye, so we need to keep an eye on that and just hope he doesn't have another seizure, because that was the first seizure he's ever had. Batman's eyesight has just disappeared dramatically. I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but we took him to the eye specialist vet, who said he's had a lot of inflammation around the lenses of his eyes. So we've got steroids for those to make sure that he doesn't, because they say they can burst, rupture. They basically said that Batman's almost blind, like he's literally blind. He is having surgery on his eyes on Tuesday, so 2 days away, where they're going to remove his cataracts, which are basically just making him see shadows, and replace them with artificial lenses. And the way they were talking, they're doing both at the same time. At least the first week to 2 weeks. I don't know how he's going to see it all, because I know that when people have cataracts removed, they usually have them done one at a time, and they have one eye covered for about a week to 2 weeks. They said the recovery could be a minimum of a month and up to 6 months. All sorts of little eye drop medications like he's having now. And while that's a little frightening, having him go under the knife, it will hopefully restore his vision so that he can have a better quality of life, because he's still only young. He's meant to be turning 11-ish, 2 days. So this is kind of the last walk for quite a while, I think. Now he's going to walk straight. He's been zigzagging like crazy. Just keeping up the pace going forward, but just going left and right across this road.